Suppose you are standing in the middle of the storm of life. Everything seems to be collapsing around you. Work is stressful, relationships are in conflict, and you feel lost. In that situation, can you stay calm? If the answer is no, then this video is definitely for you. Stoicism is not only an ancient philosophy, but also a powerful art of living. However, even Stoics have their own secrets that they never share with each other. And today, Morgan will reveal those 5 secrets. These secrets will not only help you face challenges, but also help you find true peace and happiness from within. Have you ever wondered if there is a way to better understand life, to accept change and suffering as an inevitable part of it? The first secret I will share is the ability to deeply understand life. This is the foundation that helps Stoics maintain calm and clarity in the face of all events. Did you know that absolute autonomy is not an easy thing to achieve, but Stoics have great control over their emotions? How do they do it? This is the second secret that I will reveal. Have you wondered why Stoics always remain calm in the face of all events? They have a special ability to separate their emotions from external events. Let's explore this secret with us. There are many interesting things waiting for you in this video, so don't miss it. If you want to know more about living according to your inner values and finding inner freedom, continue watching and discover the secrets of Stoicism with me. Before we begin, Morgan has a small challenge for you. Watch the video until the end if you are really serious about staying calm in all situations and developing yourself. Please leave a comment. Accept the challenge to practice perseverance, and let's start with the first secret of today's video. Number 1. Deep understanding of life. Join Morgan in entering the deep world of Stoic philosophy with the first secret that even Stoics rarely share with each other. Imagine you're a famous actor. You've got it all: fame, money, and admiration from millions of people. But inside, you still feel empty, disoriented, and miserable. Does this sound familiar? There are many Hollywood stars who, despite their sparkling appearance, endure inner storms that no one sees. What makes them feel this way? The contrast between a perfect appearance and a soul in crisis is a clear demonstration of the lack of deep understanding of life. A deep understanding of life is one of the strongest foundations of Stoic philosophy. It's not just about recognizing that life is always changing, but also about accepting and living in harmony with those changes. Stoics understand that life never stands still. It is always moving and changing in ways that we cannot control. We may lose loved ones, face financial difficulties, or experience ups and downs in our careers. However, instead of resisting these changes, the Stoic learns to accept them as an inevitable part of life. Morgan believes that, when we accept change and suffering, we will find a deep peace within our souls. It is a peace that is not shaken by the storms outside. Think about this. Have you ever wondered why some people, despite facing the harshest challenges, still remain optimistic and calm? Their secret is a deep understanding of life. They know that everything happens for a reason, and that suffering is just a small part of the larger journey we are on. A famous quote from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus is, "We are not influenced by what happens, but by how we perceive what happens." Morgan finds this statement very true and meaningful. When we change the way we look at life, we also change the way we face difficulties. Instead of seeing challenges as barriers, we can see them as opportunities to grow and learn. Do you ever feel tired of trying to control everything around you? Have you ever felt helpless when things didn't go your way? Morgan thinks we've all experienced this feeling. But when we understand that we cannot control everything, we will free ourselves from unnecessary pressure. Instead of trying to change what cannot be changed, focus on changing ourselves and how we react to events. Morgan wants you to know that a deep understanding of life is not just a philosophy, but also a way of life. This is the path to true peace and happiness. Try applying this philosophy to your daily life. When faced with a difficult situation, stop for a moment and ask yourself, does this really matter? What can I control in this situation? Remember, we can't control everything, but we can control how we react. If you feel this secret is meaningful, please share your thoughts in the comments section, starting with deep understanding of life. Morgan would love to hear your stories and experiences about how Stoic philosophy has changed your life. Let's create a community full of understanding and sharing, where we can learn and grow together. Morgan is looking forward to your feedback. As we discussed about life insight, this helps us realize that things are always changing, and suffering is an inevitable part of the journey of life. Once we understand and accept this, we will find peace in our hearts, no longer disturbed by external events. But how to maintain this peace in all circumstances? That's thanks to the second secret. When you understand the nature of life, it will be easier for you to control your emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively to unexpected events, you learn to remain calm and clear-headed. Understanding life is like a lighthouse, illuminating and helping you navigate, while absolute self-control is like a sturdy boat, helping you overcome storms without capsizing. Do you see this connection? Once we have a deep understanding, we will build a solid foundation for self-control, and this is the next step on the path to becoming a true Stoic. Join Morgan to discover how absolute autonomy can change your life. Number 2, absolute self-control. Famous politicians like Winston Churchill or Mahatma Gandhi were able to maintain calm and clarity during decisive moments of history. Their secret lies in the ability to control emotions and actions absolutely, regardless of external pressures. In Stoic philosophy, absolute self-control is not only a skill, but also an art of living. Stoics understand that controlling themselves is controlling their lives. They do not let emotions control their actions, but instead act based on reason and insight. Morgan believes that this self-control not only helps us overcome life's challenges, but also leads to a happier and more fulfilling life. Imagine yourself standing in front of an angry crowd, all eyes on you, waiting for an explanation. You feel your heart pounding and sweat starting to break out. In this situation, many people would react in panic or impulsivity, but a Stoic person would not. They will take deep breaths, stay calm, and handle the situation calmly. That is the power of absolute autonomy. Morgan wants to share with you that absolute self-control is not an easy thing to achieve, but it is a skill that can be trained. One of the famous Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, said, It is human nature to live by reason and to act by virtue. When we learn to control ourselves, we not only act rationally, but also pursue true values. Do you ever feel like you can't control your emotions? Have you ever had an angry outburst and then regretted something you said or did? Morgan believes we have all experienced such moments. But when we practice self-control, we learn to recognize and control those negative emotions before they control our actions. One exercise that Stoics often use to practice self-control is the exercise of facing your fears. They put themselves in difficult or uncomfortable situations to learn how to cope and control their emotions. In this way, they gradually become stronger and unmoved by unexpected events. Morgan thinks we can also apply this exercise in everyday life. Try putting yourself in situations where you would normally feel uncomfortable or anxious and focus on staying calm and in control of your emotions. When you practice self-control, you will find that your life becomes easier. You will no longer be influenced by negative emotions and be able to make more informed decisions. Furthermore, self-control also helps you build better relationships because you no longer react impulsively, but always act based on reason and composure. Morgan would like you to try applying the principles of Stoicism to your daily life. Start small, like controlling your emotions when faced with stressful situations, and gradually you will see positive changes in your life. If you find this secret meaningful, please leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Morgan would love to hear about your experiences with practicing self-control and how it has changed your life. Once you have discovered absolute self-control, this is the key to helping us maintain calm and clarity in all situations. But have you ever wondered how to maintain that self-control when faced with strong emotions like anger, sadness, or anxiety? That's thanks to the third secret of the Stoics. Once you have mastered the art of self-control, the next step is to learn to detach your emotions from external events. This doesn't mean you don't feel anything, but you learn to control and not let your emotions dictate your actions. Imagine you're driving during rush hour, stuck in traffic, and feeling frustrated. Self-control will help you not get angry, but the ability to detach from your emotions will really help you stay calm and not let frustration affect your whole day. Join Morgan to explore more deeply how Stoics practice this to live a more peaceful and happier life. Number 3. Ability to detach emotions. Did you know that according to statistics, more than 60% of volunteers in humanitarian projects report experiencing strong negative emotions when faced with difficult circumstances? What helps them overcome those emotions and continue working with a peaceful mind? The secret lies in the ability to separate emotions from external events. In everyday life, we often encounter situations that make us feel angry, sad, or anxious. Have you ever felt that these emotions completely dominate and control your actions? If so, you are not alone. Morgan also experienced such emotions, and it was through Stoicism that he learned to control and separate them. The ability to detach emotionally does not mean we become emotionless or indifferent to life. On the contrary, it helps us feel things more fully without letting those emotions take away our control and reason. Marcus Aurelius, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, once said, You have the power to control your thoughts. Emotions are reactions of the mind. Not letting negative emotions control you, that is true freedom. Morgan believes that when we learn to detach from our emotions, we will find freedom in our souls. Imagine you are standing in front of a crowd, criticism and judgment thrown your way. Instead of reacting impatiently and losing control, take a deep breath and stay calm. You realize that your words don't define you, and your feelings don't have to depend on what others think or say. A personal story that Morgan wants to share with you. I once encountered a very stressful situation while working on a large project. Pressure from work and harsh criticism make me feel extremely frustrated and worried. But instead of letting these emotions take control, I remembered the teachings of Stoicism and decided to stay calm. I focus on solving problems logically and not letting emotions control me. As a result, I completed my work excellently and felt extremely relieved. Morgan wants to share with you that the ability to separate emotions is not an easy thing to achieve, but it can be practiced over time. An exercise that I often apply is observing emotions. When I encounter a stressful situation, I will stop for a moment, take a deep breath and ask myself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Is this feeling really necessary? This way, we can control and separate our emotions before they control our actions. Try applying this exercise in your daily life. When faced with a difficult situation, stop and observe your emotions. Remember, you have control over your thoughts and emotions. Don't let negative emotions dominate and lose your calm and reason. If you feel this third secret is valuable, please share your thoughts in the comments section. Morgan would love to hear about your experiences with practicing emotional detachment and how it has changed your life. After exploring emotional detachment together, the next step is how to live a truly meaningful and happy life. When you are no longer dominated by negative emotions, you will realize that life has more important things to pursue. Those are your own intrinsic values. When you understand and control your emotions, you will have space and time to listen to yourself and find the values that you really value. This leads us to the fourth secret of Stoicism. Live according to your intrinsic values. Imagine yourself firmly on your own path, not lost by the judgments of others or social pressures. That is the life we aim for, where every action comes from values deep in the soul. Join Morgan to discover how to live according to your intrinsic values and build a life worth living. Number 4. Living by intrinsic values. There is a surprising story about Olympic athletes. Did you know that many athletes, after winning a gold medal, still feel empty and disoriented? This sounds strange, right? You may wonder, how can people who have reached the pinnacle of their careers feel this way? The answer lies in the fact that they spent their whole lives pursuing an external goal and forgot to nurture their own internal values. Achieving that goal does not bring them lasting satisfaction because it does not come from deep inner values. This is the time we need to look back and better understand living according to our intrinsic values. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "People are guided by what is within them. We are not defined by our circumstances, but by how we face them." Morgan believes that when we live according to our intrinsic values, we will find true satisfaction and happiness. Have you ever wondered what is really important to you? What values make you feel alive and meaningful? These are questions that each of us should ask ourselves. When we clearly understand these values, we will have a clearer direction in life. Intrinsic values may include honesty, courage, patience, and compassion. We need to identify these values and live by them, regardless of the circumstances around us. An example of living according to intrinsic values can be seen in people who have dedicated their lives to helping others. They may not have many material possessions, but they always feel happy and satisfied because they live according to what they believe. Morgan wants to share that intrinsic value is not always easy to determine, but once you realize it, it will become a beacon that guides you in life. Imagine you are facing an important decision. You can choose the easy path, according to what others want, or you can choose the more difficult path that aligns with your values. What will bring you lasting satisfaction? Morgan believes that living true to your values will bring lasting peace and happiness, even when faced with difficulties and challenges. Another story that Morgan wants to share is about a friend who gave up a high-paying job to pursue his passion in the field of art. Despite many financial difficulties, she always feels fulfilled and happy because she lives true to her values and passions. This proves that intrinsic value is what shapes life and brings true meaning. Morgan encourages you to take time to think about the values that are most important to you. Ask yourself, what truly makes me happy? How do I want to be remembered? What values can I not compromise on? Once you answer these questions, you will have a clearer picture of the path you should take. When we live according to our inner values, we can feel the peace and meaning this brings. When you live true to your values, you will no longer be swayed by outside pressures or other people's expectations. And this leads us to the final secret of Stoicism. When you live true to your intrinsic values, you will free yourself from unnecessary constraints and expectations, thereby achieving a state of profound freedom in your soul. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a peaceful garden, where there is no noise of life, only silence and peace. That is the feeling of inner freedom. Join Morgan to discover how to achieve this freedom and enjoy a truly peaceful and happy life. Number 5. Inner freedom. Morgan wants to tell you the touching story of a great thinker, Nelson Mandela, who remained strong and undaunted throughout his 27 years of imprisonment. This is a story of determination, courage, and extraordinary mental strength. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village in Mvezo, South Africa. From a young age, he witnessed the injustice and discrimination that black people had to endure under the apartheid regime of the South African government. It was these experiences that forged Mandela's will to fight for freedom and justice. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life in prison on charges of plotting to overthrow the government. He was imprisoned at Robben Island Prison, a harsh place with extremely poor living conditions. During his 27 years in captivity, Mandela faced unimaginable hardships: isolation, hard labor, and mistreatment from prison guards. However, he never let these difficulties shake his spirit and will to fight. One of the most amazing things about Nelson Mandela is his ability to stay mentally strong in the harshest of circumstances. He believed that, although he was physically imprisoned, his spirit was free. Mandela once said, "I am not a prisoner of circumstances, but a prisoner of myself." It was this inner freedom that helped him overcome the darkest years of his life. In prison, Mandela not only focused on maintaining his morale, but also took advantage of his time to study and educate other prisoners. He turned Robben Island prison into a university where he and other prisoners shared knowledge and discussed political, legal, and social issues. Mandela believed that knowledge was the key to liberating people from ignorance and injustice. Mandela's steadfastness and courage not only helped him overcome difficulties in prison, but also inspired millions of people around the world. After his release in 1990, Mandela continued to fight for freedom and equality, and in 1994, he became South Africa's first democratically elected president. Under his leadership, South Africa began a new journey, building a society free of racism and full of humanity. Morgan wants to emphasize that Nelson Mandela's story is a living testament to the power of the spirit and inner freedom. Even though he was physically imprisoned, Mandela still maintained a spirit of freedom, not being overcome by harsh circumstances. This is a valuable lesson for us about living true to our intrinsic values and not letting external circumstances influence us. What helped him maintain this strength? That is the inner freedom that we will discover together. Nelson Mandela once said, "Freedom is not only about breaking one's own chains, but also about living respectfully and promoting the freedom of others." This quote deeply reflects the philosophy of Stoicism, that true freedom comes from within, not from external circumstances. Inner freedom does not depend on situations or environments, but comes from how we face and react to life. Morgan believes that inner freedom begins with us living true to our internal values. When you clearly understand and respect these values, you will not be bound by external expectations or pressures. Imagine you are a giant tree standing firm in the middle of a storm. Strong winds may shake the branches and leaves, but your roots remain strong because you are deeply rooted in your core values. A famous quote by Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, is, "The truly free man is he who can live as he chooses." This means that freedom is not only about being free from external constraints, but also about being in control of yourself, controlling your thoughts and emotions. When you can live the way you choose, without being influenced by external circumstances, that is inner freedom. Have you ever wondered how to maintain a strong spirit in the most difficult situations? How to find inner freedom amid the pressures and challenges of life? Morgan thinks we can learn from Mandela. Let's find freedom from within. Hold fast to our beliefs and values, and don't let external circumstances shake our spirit. If this story touches and makes you think, please share your thoughts in the comments section. Morgan looks forward to receiving shares and feedback from you about how you overcame difficulties and found your inner freedom. So together, we have discovered the deep secrets of Stoicism. Each secret is not only a philosophy of life, but also valuable lessons, helping us face life's challenges peacefully and wisely. Remember, life is always full of ups and downs, but with a Stoic spirit, we can maintain calm and reason. Live true to your values, control your emotions, and find freedom from within. That is the key for us to live a meaningful and happy life. Morgan wants to send my deep gratitude to all of you who have gone through this journey with me. Your companionship and sharing are an endless source of inspiration. Helping Morgan feel his work is more meaningful than ever. I hope that, through the stories and Stoic philosophies we have discussed, you will find valuable lessons for yourself and apply them to daily life to achieve true happiness and peace. If you find this video useful, please help Morgan press the like button. Comment "satisfied" so YouTube will rate this video useful. Or you can share with friends and subscribe to Stoic Kingdom channel so you don't miss the next videos. In addition, you can watch other videos displayed at the end of this video. Thank you and see you again in the following videos. Wishing you a peaceful and happy day.